and the mighty forest fire of desire may be quenched. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory. O Lord, various are thy names, in each and every name thy grace and power are present in full. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, that the mirror of the heart may be cleaned off its dross, and the mighty forest fire of desire may be quenched. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory. O name, no name, no times are set, O Lord, for chanting of thy name. No rites are needful, so vast is thy mercy. How great then my poverty, who finds in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy holy name, that the mirror of the heart may be cleaned off its dross, and the mighty forest fire of desire may be quenched. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory. O mind, be thou more humble than a blade of grass. Be forbearing and patient like a tree. Give honor to all, take no honor, only to thyself. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord, that the mirror of the heart may be cleaned off its dross, and the mighty forest fire of desire may be quenched. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory. O Lord, mine is no prayer for pleasure, wealth, or fame. I want only steadfast devotion to Thee. For Thou art my heart's beloved, Thou and Thou alone. Do with me whatever Thou wilt. For Thou art my heart's beloved, Thou and Thou alone. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord.
Let us close our eyes and mentally shut the ears for all sounds entering in our mind. Let us hear the faint but ongoing sound of the ticking of the heart, the clock of the heart. Let us increase the volume of it. There is a knob there for increasing the volume of this ticking of the clock of heart. Let us feel that the time is going away. This clock is ticking. We are running out of time. We have to do everything within that time. Let us be aware of this ticking of the clock. Om, peace, peace, peace. Om Asatu Ma Sadgamaya Tamasu Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityur Mam Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, from this limited existence or mortality to the unlimited immortal existence. Dear friends, I will begin discussing this very important topic with a quote from Shankaracharya's hymn. It is titled as Shiva Paradha Kshamapana Stotra, which translates as forgiveness, begging forgiveness from Lord Shiva. And one verse of it gives importance of this topic, that the clock is ticking. It is, and we have to be aware of that. Ayurnashyati pasyatam pratidinam yati kshayam yauvanam प्रत्यायान्ति गतः पुनर्न दिवसः कालो जगद्भक्षकः लक्ष्मी तोयतरङ्गभङ्गचपला विद्युच्चलं जीवितं तस्मात् मां शरणागतः शरणदः त्वं रक्ष रक्षाधुना. The simple translation is that every day a chunk of life is being taken away. Look at that, be aware of that. Pashyatam means see that the life is getting, reduced. Day by day we are getting older, coming closer and closer to the death of the body. And remember that the day gone, it has gone, never to return back. It is gone in oblivion. Time just goes. And all the earthly things that we accumulate, it is called Lakshmi, the wealth, wealth of various types. It is like the house and property and money and the name, fame, all that is transitory. How transitory? Lakshmi toya taranga bhanga chapala, like the ripples on water, how momentary they are. All these things are so momentary. They come and go. And this life is just comes and goes in a flash. Vidyut chalam jeevitam, as you see as the lightning, just flashes and then gone. You cannot tell it, wait, let me call my friend to watch it. It is, that is the nature of this living. One is born, before one knows, one is just knocking at the door of the death. It is so the life comes and goes fast. So many things happen, but it all is gone in a flash. And therefore, the last line says, O you who are the timeless principle, that and who gives the protection to those who seek refuge in you, who grant refuge to the seekers of the refuge. Oh, protect me, tvam raksha rakshadhuna. Now you please protect me. Protect from what? Our tendency, innate tendency to not notice that time is just flying away, ebbing away. And so I have to arrange the priorities of my life. The time is running at its own pace. We have no control over it. It is that dimension which goes on its own only in one direction. That it is an important idea in physics called arrow of time. Arrow means it is directed. It goes in one direction. It is in a way unresolved puzzle in physics, that while we can go backward and forward in space, that choice is not available in time. It is, you cannot revisit the past. You can remember it and think about it, write about it, down the memory lane, publish a book like that, but you cannot again go in that time and then say, well, let me change it. There is a nice book about a young man who met lot of failures in life. He was reckless and so committed lot of mistakes, and then from the age of 12 he was making blunders in life one after another, and as he became 24 he lost everything and found himself at the door of a magician whom he knew. And then he goes to him and said that, now I realize that I wasted my 12 years. Can you give me these 12 years back? You are a magician. So please give me. Now I am going to live a good life. I am not going to commit those silly mistakes that I committed earlier. That was blunder on my part. But I will now relive that and do everything nice. Please give me those 12 years back. Can you? The magician laughed and said, that's not possible. Even if you get your 12 years back, they will proceed in the same way as they did earlier. There won't be any change. That is the time. Time is an event, you know. That event together, everything is there. So you will be doing exactly the same thing. And he was incredulous. No, earlier I didn't know that these will be the effects, and so I did that. The magician smiles and says, did you really not know? You knew the effect of the recklessness in life. You knew if you do these things, if you do not attend the school, if you do not study, if you behave rudely with people, you know what happens. Not that you didn't know. And he said, no, I really did not know about it. Means it did not strike me then. Now I know that it was all I did bad. Now please, give me those 12 years back, and I am going to make very good use of that this time. And the magician said, okay, amen, but it won't make any difference. And then he heard the wake-up bell in the dormitory 12 years ago, as he was in the middle school, put in the that residential school, and then he heard the doorbell, that wake-up bell ringing. Everybody has to wake up. The other kids, they jumped from their beds, but like what he did 12 years ago, he just kept on lying on the bed, did the same thing again. I will wake up, I will go to the school whenever I want. I am not going to get bullied by the bell. Well, and then all those things that he did earlier, same thing repeated. Again and again, same thing. He met all those failures, all those frustrating disappointments of life. And then, 24 years, 12 years elapsed like that, with the same thing being repeated again and again in life, and finds himself again at that door of the magician. And now magician says, did I not tell you time is not like that that you can reclaim. Time lost is lost, gone. And then he asked, so have I no possibility of redemption? He said, I didn't say that. But by not going back to the time, you have to now discipline your life from this moment. You have to take this proper training under a teacher. You need help. You cannot do it on your own. And then you will be able to gradually improve your life. That is the way, not going back in time. One cannot go back in time. It is just one directional process. You might say about the movie, that time machine, that you go back, you go forward, and then you find yourself, as it were, in the time 100 years hence. But and you think, wow, that's going on, I can go forward in time. You are not going forward in time. You are watching it in the movie hall in this time only. And it is, you may afterwards think, well, I spent 1 hour in watching this film. I did not go 100 years forward. It is not possible to do that. It is time machine. It's a fiction. It is given a color of so-called sci-fi, scientific fiction, but it is not scientific fiction. It is a fiction. The time has this special quality, so that you cannot do much about it. What you can do is time management. That yes, I have only so much time. How much, that also I really don't know. But so let me put my priorities correct. The time management in every field, even in the administration, even in completing the projects, in having everything done as per schedule, that skill of time management comes into play. And there the first thing is, put your priorities right. What you need to do first, do it first. What is most important, give it a priority. It is, I remember, we used to, these days also, I think the exams happen like that. During my days, there would be a question paper, and you have to answer all those questions in a limited time. You don't have infinite time to answer those questions. In some 3 hours or whatever, the answers have to be written down and the thing has to be submitted. Now, some questions were tough, and some were tough in the sense, something that I have not studied well, or I am not remembering properly, and some seemed to be quite easy, within the reach. So we were told, I still remember that, you first answer all those questions which you can do, and then concentrate on the others which you are skeptical about, you are not very sure what the answer is, and so forth. You give yourself that time. Otherwise, if you waste all the time in trying to solve those tricky things, then by the clock is ticking. It is so, you will not be able to do any justice to it. So put that priorities. So in our life, especially when it comes to what is called spiritual life, the priority has to be set right. Spiritual life is the life that is centered around the Spirit, the unchanging reality, the God, whatever word may use, that is God. And then that has to have the top priority. Can you give Richard God second priority? That is then not God, you know. Obviously, the very idea of God, very concept of God is such that you cannot put God in the second place. Has to be top priority, friends. God has to have top priority. Do you get it, Mayuk? God has to have what? Top priority. That is because that is the most important thing in life. Otherwise, there is no God. God, the very idea of God is the topmost. Otherwise, if you say something else has prominence or precedence, then that becomes God. So, it is, one has to be aware of this, that yes, that is the most important thing in life, and thus we have to plan what is to be done with the available time in realizing this goal. Sri Ramakrishna was never tired of repeating this sentence, that God realization is the goal of life. He didn't say a goal, is the goal of life, because that alone can bring fulfillment to one's life. Anything else you do may titillate us for a time and make us actually oblivious that we haven't oblivious of this fact that we haven't achieved much. We just keep on basking in the glory of some achievement, and then we are left high and dry when that moment passes away. But this just points out this fact that God realization is the goal of life. That alone brings us everything in life. There is, if not, we get only appearances. The reality is God. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, God is existence. All other things are non-existing. He used to use that Sanskrit words, that Ishwar, God, is Vastu. Vastu means that which is existing. Arshob Obastu, everything else is an appearance, doesn't have any real existence at all. Howsoever charming, howsoever alluring they may appear, they don't have any real existence. So, what is the practical thing where we should use our time? In running after appearance or running after that which is real? It is very important question that we must ask ourselves right now. Now is the available thing. Ask this question, that what is the practicality? What is the practical thing? It is running after a mirage. Oh, there is the big water pool there, looks so nice, let me get water from there. It is mirage. There is really no water. Well, dig a well and get water is difficult, but possible. Getting water from a mirage is just wasting the time. Don't waste the time in trying to get things which don't exist. The life gets wasted in running after such things. So, this is the priority that Sri Ramakrishna sets before us, that this goal is to realize the God. Let that have the top priority. Once you have that as top priority, everything else gets arranged according to what is top priority. It is there is, it does not mean that we all have to follow the same path. The path will be different according to our psychophysical constitution, but this priority setting, this goal is there, that God realization is the goal of life. Realization means actually I should experience God. So, otherwise, well, if I go to the tendency that I will do it later, right now I have so many other things to do. Well, those other things, they are never going to finish. Life gets finished. Those other things never ever get finished. It is compared by Shankaracharya that it is like a man goes on the bank of the sea and thinks that he goes there to take a dip in the sea, but then thinks that there are waves, when the waves subside, then I will take a dip in the sea. There is no possibility that fellow will ever have that kind of chance. Sea or ocean means there will be waves always. So, this thought that first let me straighten this other parts of my life and then I will turn towards spiritual life. No, clock is ticking. Those things will never get straightened. It is like this. Right now I am trying to reach the horizon. Let me run and catch the horizon first, and then I will pay attention to other things. How much chance do you have to pay attention to other things? Well, there is nothing like horizon. It is an optical illusion. You will never be able to reach the horizon. And so, don't run, don't be impractical in life. It is impracticality to run after things which do not really have any existence. So, let us concentrate in trying to arrange our life so that we realize this goal. The song that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's song, very important thing is underlined there. We sang this song today because day before yesterday was the birthday of Lord Chaitanya, and this song gives this idea: unceasingly chant, unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory. This is the most important thing. So, let us do that. It is another very important verse from Shankaracharya's very important and very popular song or poem is this, that look, day and night, they are just moving one after another. Clock is ticking, time is running out. Punarapi rajani, punarapi divasah, punarapi paksha, punarapi masah, punarapyayanam, punarapi varsham, tadapi na munchati ashamarsham. That they all these day and night, they keep on happening, the months keep on changing. Just I still remember it was 2021 till some time back. I was typing the date as the end was 2021, and it is now 2022. Before you know, it becomes 2023. It goes on like that, I feel I was still, I am a small child. Just the other day, like this Mayuk sitting there, just playing around, and well, now I am a grey-haired person, just standing now on the, it is like the sun on the west horizon. So the time is just slipping away, goes, and you are caught by death before one realizes that it is just gone in a flash. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a story that that Shiva and Parvati, they were playing some kind of a board game. It is always described like that Shiva and Parvati, because they don't have much to do, it is everything is just automatically taken care of. So they are playing that board game, and comes just a sound that thuk. Parvati asks, well, what happened? No, let us continue for nothing much. Ravana is born, Ravana is born. Again, after a few moments, the same sound comes. Look, what happened now? Ravana is dead, Ravana is born, Ravana is dead. That is, everything comes and goes. The creation comes with a bang. You may call it Big Bang or whatever. And then it stays for a short time. After all, time is short, It is howsoever long you may feel, it is just short. After a short time, this whole universe dissolves also, because it is not real. They tell the story of the sage Markandeya. His life was what? How much? The whole cycle of this universe. In human time, it would be millions of years. And then he thought that, well, if I have to live for just a short time like this, I don't need to have a house. So he did not have a house of himself, because for just a short time of a few million years, why should I take the trouble of making a house? I can just live like that. So because the time is short. In the Kathopanishad, you read this idea that when the teacher there, and very important thing is, the teacher in Kathopanishad is the god of death, and is also known as time, because everything is swallowed by time. So time is teaching this Nachiketa, and to see whether he is an eligible candidate to give this knowledge or not, he dangles many attractive objects for Nachiketa's acceptance. Will you like to take this? I will make you the king of the whole universe. Would you like? Have it. I will give you all the objects of enjoyment and long life. Would you like it? Nachiketa said, all this is momentary. Let it be with you. I don't want this. I want to know that which is real, which is not affected by time. I want that reality. So it is, we have to be conscious of this. Clock is ticking. Not much time is left. In the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord underlies this truth that look, you know, that it is, he says, Antakale cha mam eva smaran muktva kalevaram, that at the last point of life, when somebody is about to die, if that person remembers me, the Lord, then that person comes to me, means he realizes the God. That person, he or she realizes the God. When at the moment of death, if that person thinks of me, that's it, you know, it is. And he said this, there is nothing special as such about it. Whatever thing you remember at the time of death, you attain to that. If you thought of some enjoyments, you will get that kind of new body where you will get that. So, this is a general rule that whatever thought is uppermost in your life at the time of death, at the time of death think of God, and then you will attain to God. And then he says a verse that is somewhat strange. He knows the psychology, because after saying at the time of death, if you think of me, I will, then you will attain to God. So, this Yogatmananda thinks that, so what is the need of thinking of God all the time? I will do whatever other things. At the moment of death, I will think of God. We are likely to fall a prey to this kind of thinking. So, Lord says, therefore, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhya. A very important message, friends, that therefore all the time remember God and fight. Fight means do your duty. Do your duty. Don't say I won't do my duty because I have to remember God. Remember God all the time while doing the duty. Do whatever you want to do, but keep your mind in God. That is the teaching that you have in this world. Everybody has to do many works. Do those works, but keeping the mind on God. It is very important. One of our Swamis explained this word, that this idea, keeping the mind on God and doing the work, because the world is just thinking of work. World doesn't think of love and all such things. It doesn't understand. Love is also measured by what you do for me. If you love me, you should do it for me. That is the measure of love that the world has. World has only that measure, work. What you are doing for me. It is that yardstick of feeling love is not there with the world. It is with God. It is like if, imagine, you know, a deaf person is there, a deaf person, and you have very nice music going on. He is just seeing, there is no hearing that component to that experience. So, he would judge the quality of the music just by looking at the movements and so forth, that it is, yeah. So, he would see like if Abhishek is playing tabla, he will not hear the tabla sound, he would see only the fingers and all that, or the head, how his head moves and so forth, nothing more than that. So, the world is like that. It is blind to love, is very actively seeing the work. And so the wise thing is to give work to the world. Do the work in the world. What a great message it is. Do your duty. Yuddhacha, do your work meticulously, with all your attention, but give the mind to God. It is because God knows the love. God doesn't need your work. What can you do for the Almighty God? You cannot do anything. But this is something that you can do. Give the love. And Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a very nice story, that it is suppose that a owner of an orchard. Now the owner has a lot of property here and there. One of those is this orchard, and he has kept a gardener to take care of it, to manage that. And sometimes he goes to visit how things are happening, informs the caretaker that I am coming tomorrow, and then the caretaker had taken out to offer to the owner some very nice fruits, and he gives that to the owner, saying that I knew that you are coming, so I plucked out these very nice well ripe fruits for you. Now what is that? The owner of course appreciates that, but the whole property actually belongs to the owner, not to that gardener. But what the gardener is giving, the love and the dutifulness, the connection is what the gardener can give. So when we offer anything to God, waving the light, now we will soon have that arati, waving of the light. What? It is, God doesn't have light without you, the one who gives light to the whole universe. You are showing light to that. It is, we say in Bengali, Ganga Jole Ganga Puja. When you are doing the worship to the river Ganges, now what water will you offer? You take a little water from the Ganges and offer it back to the Ganges. What you are specially doing is offering your love. So give all love to God and work to the world. This sounds very simple, but it is difficult because we are used to do the opposite. That we give our mind to the world, not very particular about doing our duties, but our mind is caught in the world, that my so and so, my this, my that. So it is my spouse, my children, my parents, my all the things. Mind is given to the world, and to God we do work. I am working, see, I have wiped the altar clean. I am ready to do the worship. I spent 3 hours in cooking for offering to the God. God has absolutely nothing to do with the work. God wants your love. So, but things get misplaced, love is offered to the world and work is offered to the God. Both are useless. Because the world doesn't care for love, God doesn't care for the work. So therefore we have to set this connection right. I had told you that incident in this respect, that once from the well the water is to be pumped up in the tank overhead, and then I started the motor, the pump. The pump was, I heard the motor was running, but no water was going up. I called the mechanic, hey, look, what's happening. He came and corrected it in 1 minute. and said, I asked, well, what had happened? He said the connection, somehow the positive negative got altered, and so the motor was running in the reverse direction. It was running. The electricity was being spent. The machine was that motor was making noise. Everything except the work was not getting done. So this happens in our life. So very important idea. Give love to God. Do you get it, Yona? Love God and duty to the world. Do work in the world with all meticulousness, but keeping the mind on God. Sri Ramakrishna gave so many examples, about this, that look, that in the circus, he went to see the circus and then gave the examples, that look how this girl was riding a horse, standing on it, and then jumping through many hoofs and all that, again getting right on the horse. So see how much practice she has done. Everything, that the attention is there, otherwise she will have a big fall. So while she is doing all this, the attention is there, that the point that I should not fall. So similarly, do everything, have the attention on God. So many nice examples he had given. Even about circus he gave some other examples. One of the devotees that remarked that, okay, if you keep on going to the circus, then we will get lot of nice analogies from you. So it is, but this is the important part, that let us have these priorities properly fixed. God realization is the topmost priority in life. Kenopanishad makes us aware of that, that look, that here in this human life, try to realize that iha ched avedit atha satyam asti. After telling all the wonderful philosophy and the truth about the self and so forth, then comes this very important practical verse, that if you realize this in this life, then and then alone you have made good use of the life. If no, if you don't make the good use of life in this way, then you have wasted a big opportunity. Iha ched avedit atha satyam asti, na ched iha vedit mahati vinashti. A big waste, this life. It became just a waste for you. What did you achieve in this human life? This human life is for realization of God. All those animal pleasures of eating and playing and having this reproduction and all that, that can happen in any other species, any other life. In fact, animals do that much better than human beings. It is this human body is not at all suitable for that. So pay attention to that, what this body is for. It is, I remember another important Sanskrit verse in this connection, that be aware of the fact that you have spent a lot of money in the terms of karma currency. Karma currency means after this, everywhere that currency has the validity in that particular region, that it is dollars, they have validity in US. If you take it, then you have to first convert into the currency there. So now all that we do, what happens to that work that we do? What currency we get paid in? you do get paid in the currency of karma, and you get your new birth according to what you can pay in this karma currency. Your dollars will not come in picture then. What good work you have done, that is you get the karma accordingly, and then you get the new birth according to that. So, you have got this human body by investing all your karma to get this. Mahata punya pannena kriteyam kayanaustvaya. This boat of this body, human body, it is a very powerful boat. What can it do for you? It can ferry you across this ocean of suffering, suffering and bondage. You can cross this ocean by using this boat for that purpose. If you don't do it, well, clock is ticking, this boat will break. This will not then be, you will miss the purpose of this boat then. So, param dukkho dadhe gantum. You have invested all your karma fortune in getting this body, and you can't get it again quickly. You have, because all the fortune has been invested in that, in getting this. Now, do this the purpose for which it has been acquired, and be free. That param dukkho dadher gantum, to go beyond this ocean of suffering, tara yavanna bhidyate, before it is broken. Achieve this purpose, do what this boat is for. So, this is a very important aspect, that if we do it, then we have done justice to it. Then it is all the time, therefore, keep on thinking of God and realizing the God, that is the goal of life. Things have to be arranged around that. Then the life has been properly utilized. If not, it is a great loss. Let us be aware of that. Well, I am aware that the clock has been ticking, and so I will that stop my talk here. So, it is but still I have jotted down one very important verse here. Let me tell that, please bear with me for some more clicking of the clock. It is that all other things that I was telling about, they can be acquired. Even if you acquire those, nothing much is attained. Even if you don't acquire those, nothing much is lost. So, about that, take the attitude that yes, there is lot of time to do that, don't worry about it, because they are not important things. Ajara maravat prajnah kamam artham cha chintayet. That when you are thinking about money and running after all these playthings and sensual pleasures and so forth, think that there is lot of time, you don't have to do it right away, and because whether you get it or you don't get it, it doesn't matter at all. But when it comes to doing the spiritual practice for realization of this goal, do it now. Grihita iva kesheshu mrityuna dharma macharet. Feel that the death is catching, holding you with the tuft of your hair. It is right there. Thinking that there is no time to be lost here, make the best use of this to realize this truth. So, when we do that, that is the best use of the time. So, let us pay attention to this important idea and lead our life accordingly. May the Lord, the compassionate Lord, help us in this endeavor. He is only ready to help, but as they say, Lord helps those who help themselves. If we are not ready to do it, and then the God said, okay, whenever you are ready. So, it is like that. Whenever I am ready to do it, there is the help coming to give us a push towards that. So, friends, think about it, and if you have any questions, you can ask these questions. Anybody has any question? Oh, you have a question, okay. I thought the discussion here, Richard. Yeah. I thought it was such a nice, straightforward discussion. Nobody will have a question. Okay.
Okay. Imagine at the moment of death, you are, say, Ram, name of God. You say God at the moment of death, yes?
If you say, yes.
Yes, if you say. There is then, when you go to God, there is no longer time. Is that correct?
Exactly. Then
Now,
the clock stops.
Okay, no more time.
No more
Forever,
time. You
forever.
go beyond the time.
Forever.
Forever.
Okay, so if someone experiences nirvikalpa samadhi in this lifetime, no time for them anymore.
Yeah, of course. No
Okay,
time. You
so-
go beyond time.
So time is not real.
Time is not real there.
Oh. Okay.
In the mundane life that you are living, there is nothing more real than time. But when you reach the goal, then the clock stops ticking. It is, don't confuse that absolute and the relative. It is the problem comes due to that. At that level, no time. But here we are living in time. You have to come to attend this service at the right time, isn't it? Not that, okay, there is no time, I can go or not go or go any time. No, this you quickly took up this opportunity to ask question. In 2 minutes that opportunity would have just vanished. So, it is the time. Here it is all bound with time, space and causation. It is when we take the name of God and get united with God, who is timeless. No time there at all. So, this you don't have to hear this ticking of the clock. The clock is no more there for you. There is this timeless existence. Yeah. Thank you. Any other question?
Yes, one question online. It is from Shubha. Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, pranam.
How to go past the feeling of neither here, in bracket spiritual path, nor there, in bracket layman life?
Yes, how can you go beyond this feeling? Is that the question?
Yeah, how to go past the feeling of neither here nor there?
This feeling comes because we are not feeling this eternal, timeless reality. When we feel about God, then it is everywhere, because God is the reality. If you are not aspiring for God, then you are nowhere, neither here nor there is the case then. When we are running after the worldly things, you are neither here nor there. because we are running after the non-existent, unreal things, that okay, I have so much bank balance, I have so much property, and I have so much prestige in society, and all those things, they are neither here nor there. That is the last stanza that I quoted, was that all these things, whether you get those or you don't get those, it doesn't matter much. It is like whether you get 10 zeros money or 20 zeros money, doesn't matter if I give you, say, if one fake note of $100. If you know it is fake, you won't take it. If I say, shall I give you another fake note like that, you won't take it because it is fake. All these things that we run after in the world, they are these fake notes. They are not going to have any use in life. So those things are neither here nor there. But God pervades everything, is here and there. So let us go to that which is here and there, otherwise neither here nor there. Very good question, thank you. Oh, you have a question here, okay. Peter.
So at one point you mentioned that our purpose for living is to attain God, and that everything else is essentially a mirage. Although often it feels like it's the opposite, that the material world is very real and God is.
Yes, it is.
Now, my question is this: what are the signposts along the way to know that we are getting closer to attaining God?
That's a very good question. What are the signs of getting closer to God? Are there any signs? Well, yes and no. The signs are not just the external signs. More importantly, the signs are in your mind. That it is you feel more peace, you feel more assured. To give you an example, that say you are driving a long distance, say from your city to Providence, and then as you start, you see the distance some how much, 90 miles, more or less 100 miles. So then after driving say half an hour, you see that now Providence is 80 miles or 70 miles, then what do you think? You are going in the right direction. And that is how you know that you are going in the right direction, when these signs appear in you, that you feel more satisfaction, more happiness, internal happiness, and not due to some success in the world, no. It is the internal happiness that you feel, that has nothing to do with any outer achievement. You feel that happiness, that peace, and that is the sign. And God is that, the embodiment of bliss, embodiment of peace. So you feel more peace in life. So that is the sign that you are progressing. And it has an outer effect also. This is the feeling that is subjective, that is limited to you. But there is an objective, the outside impact of it. that others also will be able to see. If you are feeling more peace inside, how likely it is that you will get very irritated with other people? Much less than otherwise you will get, because this peace inside will manifest in life. Your face will, show more joy, and the feeling that you are, that love will emanate from your body language. People will not be scared of you. It is all these external signs will also be there. More love will manifest in life, more consideration for others. You will spontaneously go to help others. All these things will happen. That is, they are the signs that yes, you are actually getting closer and closer in spiritual life. Yeah, thank you. Oh, there is that Joan Janek. She got some inspiration to ask question. Oh, okay. Time is, yeah. Clock is.
It has to do somewhat with the Buddha and Christ.
Huh?
That it has to do with the Buddha, who's in the altar, and Christ, who's on the altar.
Yes.
And that the Buddha gave an example of a mantra. And I don't know if this is on
Please speak
a
loudly.
mantra?
Maybe you take.
A
Yeah.
mantra, such as Bengazi, Bagazi, Maha, Bengazi, Ratsa, Samagat, Soha. And it's about love. So I try to, it's hard though, because you have all these things, delusions in your head. But if you're able to say a mantra most of the time, then as Christ said, as it is in heaven, as it is now, as it will be in heaven. So I see that as the relative of time. Is that a correct perception?
It is.
And as the Buddha taught, saying a mantra is able to do away with the delusions so you can be here. For an example, I come from a big farming family in Ohio, 250 acres, a lot of cows, a lot of orchards, fruits, whatever. There's a farm in Warren. The farmer doesn't realize that by allowing his animals to sleep in mud, there is no grass, there is no hay. I want to cry when I see that. And yet, when I say my Bengazi, Soha, I realize that it's their karma. And by my driving by and sending my love and my mantra, am I helping them? Even though they're animals and they're going to be chopped up and whatever, I don't need to go into detail. But it's a life of horrible suffering, and yet many people in the world live like that.
That is true. It is that many people suffer because of this kind of behavior. But you are saying mantra may do whatever good to them. I don't know. It is certainly not hurting them.
I hope so.
Yes. Secondly, the mantra has power depending on where it is springing from. The mantra coming from here has very little power.
The mouth.
The mouth. Mantra
Versus
coming from here, when it comes from heart, then only it has power,
Such as Om Mani Padme Hum.
Huh?
Om Mani Padme.
Whatever the mantra be, whatever
have to
may
be
be the
long.
mantra, the mantras are great, but their power gets revealed the more they come from your heart.
Okay.
Yeah. If there is something else going on in the heart, and only the mantra is going on in the lips, then that what is in the heart will have precedence, not on what is on the lips.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let us now see what upcoming programs. There is the spiritual retreat coming this Saturday, and one has to but register for that. The topic of this retreat is ABC of meditation, and one has to register for it. The space for the retreat is running out, and especially today is the last day, the clock is ticking to register at a concessional discounted rate. It is, of course, if you have more money you do not have to worry about this, but if you want to get the concessional rate, today is the last day. Otherwise the fee is $30 from tomorrow. It is today it is $20, and if the registration number reaches, the registration will get stopped. So please try to register. Coming Sunday the topic of discussion will be that alpha and omega of meditation. The first that retreat topic is ABC of meditation, and the Sunday lecture the following day is alpha and omega of meditation. Somebody will give that, Yogatmananda, I will tell him to give, right. So, okay. So, and the Tuesday and Friday lectures, classes, they will go on as usual at 7:30 p.m. Topics you already know, and the meditations and prayers morning and evening, they go on as usual. It is open for everyone. You can make good use of this opportunity because the clock is ticking, you see. So let me conclude with the closing prayers. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahura Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Now there will be the Arati. Peter.
Breaker of all our worldly bondage and adored by all, we adore you too. Stainless Lord, assuming human form, stainless Lord, assuming human form, transcendent yet filled with love. You free us from the stain of sin and ornament our world. Consciousness is your form, your eyes always purified by knowledge, your eyes always purified by knowledge. Looking at them, illusion is gone. Ocean of shining love and feeling, ever inebriated in your infinite love. Your feet always dear to your devotees, your feet always dear Spirit to your devotees, form our boat to cross this world. Reveal to us as God incarnate and the Lord of all things, helping us join with you. Your mind's always set in the divine light. Your mind's always set in the divine light. This we can see through your grace. Destroyer of our worldly sorrow and compassion so infinite is your work. Your life's offered for the world's deliverance. Your life's offered for the world's deliverance, saving us from darkness and fear. Renouncer of all lust and lucre, therefore you were always spurning sensual life. Lord of monks, you are the best of men. Lord of monks, you are the best of men. Grant to us pure love for you. You're fearless and you're free from doubting, with your mind very firmly resolved. Causeless refuge of your devotees, causeless refuge of your devotees, renouncing caste and birth. Our treasure is your holy feet, which take us very soon across this puddle of life. You give love and even-sightedness. You give love and even-sightedness to remove our anguish here. Our treasure is your holy feet, which take us very soon across this puddle of life. You give love and even-sightedness. You give love and even-sightedness to remove our anguish here. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Yet you are the basis of both. O Lord, yet you are the basis of both. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heartscape. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heartscape. Darkness is destroyed by your light. O Lord, darkness is destroyed by your light. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Yet you are the basis of both. O Lord, yet you are the basis of both. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heartscape. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heartscape. Darkness is destroyed by your light. O Lord, darkness is destroyed by your light. Langa Ranga Bhanga, these are all the sounds of Mridanga. Langa Ranga Bhanga, these are all the sounds of Mridanga. Spiritual songs devotees are singing for your worship divine. Spiritual songs devotees are singing for your worship divine. Jaya Jaya for your worship divine. Hara Hara for your worship divine. Shiva Shiva for your worship divine. Breaker of all our worldly bondage and adored by all, we adore you too. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Auspicious and blessed, graciousness sublime, all noble ends you give to us, granting us refuge, all-seeing Gauri. O Mother Divine, our love to you. Creation, preservation, dissolution are your powers, eternal one. Nature's real basis, nature's essence. O Mother Divine, our love to you. We come seeking refuge from anguish. Be our Savior through your deep concern. All our suffering remove, Goddess. O Mother Divine, our love to you. Victory, O Mother Divine, our love to you. Blessed Mother Divine, our love to you. Blessed Mother Divine, our love to you. Blessed Mother Divine, our love to you. जय श्री राम कृष्ण देव की जय, जय श्री शारदा देवी की जय, जय श्री स्वामी विवेकानंद की जय, जय श्री बुद्धदेव की जय, जय श्री जीसस क्राइस्ट की जय।
There is an announcement that just at the end of the service, I was told that a bunch of keys, big bunch of keys was found at the front door. Well, it is restored to our Naomi, and she will, anybody who sees that the bunch of key is missing, they can claim it from Naomi for a small charge. No, I am just joking, you see. It is so.